वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धे भवतु मे सदा वसुदेवं सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं हरि ओम सुप्रभातम. We are continuing our Gita Manan session where we look at our Bhagavad Gita and some of the shlokas or any questions related to the Gita and our sadhana. In the group, Rahulji has shared some shlokas. They will look at them. Apart from that, is anything else anybody wishes to? You are also welcome to add. If you look at it, I'll just wait. If any, does anybody want to add anything else, or we'll just go to those shlokas? All right, fine, Ji. So there is this interesting set of shlokas, 9.22 and 2.45. Before we begin, Rahulji, what made you connect these two shlokas? They are very well connected. Please tell me, sir.
The word is yoga shaman. I felt that that is such a beautiful word. The more I'm contemplating that word, it makes me feel we have to open it up a little more.
Yes, sir. One word
So
is having yogakshema, another is having niryogakshema. and and there's one more nityabhiyuktanam and nitya satvastho. The aspect of nitya sadhana also is there in it.
yes, I was reading that also. I felt it will be nice to bring it in the Manan session and open it up a little more. Yes.
Yes, sir. Fine, sir. All right. Just do you think now I'll just look, I'll read these two shlokas, then let us just try to look at it. Then we'll probably try to see what is it that Krishna is talking about. So the first one is the very well renowned shloka, the 9.22, which is Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janah paripasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyam. That is the promise of Krishna. And the second is from the second adhyay, which is Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigунयो Bhavarjuna Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvastho Niryogakshema Atmavan. So just this word Yogakshema, I think anybody just can you share something that you feel connected to this? What is Yogakshema?
So yoga means what is not there to be able to get that, whether it's in the spiritual or the material realm.
Hmm?
And Shema is whatever is there that is protected, whether it's the spiritual or the material.
Yes. So, is this, yes, sir. Dr. Nandakishore?
But like this LIC, this has a logo, Yoga
हाँ,
Kshema Vaham Vaham. So it's
yes,
like
sir.
uh, Zindagi ke saath bhi, Zindagi ke baad bhi, which means like that protection of Krishna is going to be there all the
Yes,
time.
sir. At all the times. Okay, sir. So just let us look at these two shlokas here. First one is, as Dr. Nandakishore also pointed out, it's like a promise, assurance of Krishna that I am there before, now, and afterwards also. I will be there. And this is a promise. So, who are those who are subscribing to this policy of Krishna? Let us see. अनन्याश् चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जनाः पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम्. But those seekers by whom I am integrally sought focus on me in their every thought. To those whose consciousness is one with mine, to them I bring the prosperity divine. This is for those who are in Ananya Chintan, always thinking of the divine, who are always doing the upasana of the divine, who are focusing on the divine, who are aspiring for the grace of the divine, and who are always connected. To clarify further, the next line only he says, Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam. They are Nitya Abhiyukta. They are always yoked in oneness with Krishna. To them, he says, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam. I ensure that there, if you look at it literally, it means yoga is going to get preserved. Now, many interpretations of this means that he says he's promising material rewards. Do you think that is what he's offering here? Because I'm always in connection with the divine, I will have a very good bank balance. I will have very good material wealth. Anybody? Is our connection dependent on the material rewards that we get from Krishna? Is that why we connect with him?
I don't want to connect with him on the material plane. That,
That's a
anyways,
very
basics are always taken care of in life. We have to go for the higher plane.
yeah, but yes, but one thing very interesting is in the material plane there is the descent of the higher plane also, no? At times,
Yeah,
but
and at some level, Krishna doesn't differentiate between the material and the
yes,
spiritual plane,
yes,
with what
yes,
I've understood. Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. So, but he's certainly not promising rewards, isn't it, sir? Because you are thinking of me, like, ha ha ha, I am now pleased, so I will give you wealth. Is that the promise? Because they make a lot of people hold on to this like a sakam prarthana. Krishna has promised, so I have to be successful in business and I will keep meditating on this particular shloka because this is the promise of Krishna.
But what is success? What we see may not be seen from Krishna's eyes,
Yeah.
no?
And yes, yes. And that very previous shloka, if we just see the context, what happens is te tam bhuktva svargalokam vishalam shene punye martyalokam vishanti evam traidharmam anuprapanna gata gatam kama kama labhante. So here he's talking about those who are worshipping the divine, who are seeking rewards. What happens to them? He says, having enjoyed the rewards of the heavenly realm, with their good deeds exhausted, they return to the mortal dream. Seeking satisfaction to the prescribed Vedic virtues they resort, ultimately back to the cycle of birth and demise they retort. Meaning, this is the punarapi janama, punarapi marana. If you are getting trapped in this desire loop of receiving rewards. And yet, here we have Krishna offering something. But definitely, if we look at it in context of Shloka 21, we will see that this is not something Krishna has promised us just material wealth. Because material wealth is a Shine Punne Martyalokam, that is very beautifully written, that this is the wealth which is going to decrease, which is going to get expired. This is a wealth which Nachiketas was promised by Yama. He said, I'll give you all the wealth in the world, or I'll make you the richest person. I'll make your 10 generations rich. So you will have all the brilliant wealth in the world, worldly wealth, worldly power, worldly control. All of it is yours, is what Yama promises. But Nachiketas knows what is Shreyas and what is Preyas, and he says, and what you are going to come. And when you come, all shall disappear. You will take all of that away. He says, I want something which will not deteriorate. And that wealth, that which will be preserved. There's only one wealth that is going to be preserved. That is the wealth of the eternal knowledge. That is the knowledge that Krishna is offering, that knowledge, that spiritual wealth which will not deteriorate. That is the worthy truth. That is what Nachiketas says to Yama also. He says, I want that knowledge that even the heavens don't know. Yama, you are not there in heaven. Why is it that your powers don't work in heaven? I want to know that secret that is known in heaven so that I too can experience that. I want to go higher, higher than the God. So this aspiration of the soul is always towards divinity, isn't it? And this knowledge, which is going to take us towards divinity, that is going to lead to our soul's evolution. That is a knowledge that is not going to ever get deteriorated. And that is why Krishna says here, Yoga Kshemam Vamyam, he means an overall Sarvabhaum prosperity. Krishna's followers do not have to be poor. but at the same time, they must not lust for wealth. They must not be driven by certain desires which are going to bind them. He wants a person of sadhak to be jivan mukta, to be free. If you want to say to be free, yes, when जिंदगी के साथ भी जिंदगी के बाद भी, as Dr. Nandakishore ji just shared, the freedom should be there at all times, and that is the promise that Krishna says. So, this very smaran of the divine, to be connected with the divine, to be in continuous connection with this divinity alone can ensure that you will receive a wealth which does not deteriorate. In the Rig Veda also we have this role of Agni. Agni is the one who gives the powers to the human, the force of that is what Agni is the aspiration of the human being. It takes us, that aspiration takes us towards the divine, and then Agni grants blessings, and he says these are it's like how we say Ratna Dhatamam is what he says. He gives Ratnas, he gives wealths which do which keep growing. In the sense that is the knowledge, no? That is the one wealth which keeps growing as you keep acquiring, and it will never get lost even if you share it. And that is the knowledge of the divinity, the knowledge of a purna life, of a life which is complete, the knowledge that is free from all the other lower human traits. Well, that is why it is the divine knowledge that Krishna is saying. And we know that when we are connected with Krishna, we will receive knowledge, we will receive the clarity. Don't we all agree to this in our lives? Just connecting with Krishna, has it not brought about some difference in our life?
Lots of it. I think he just takes care of everything so beautifully.
Yes. So it is
हमारे
because
सारे plans, our plans are actually just
hmm.
useless. He just one question on yoga. Definition of yoga here is what is not there. I will get you that. Whereas yoga always was about union and yoga's
No,
samatvam uchit.
yes, sir. Yes.
What is
Here
this
in
definition?
yoga, your yoga sadhana will not become bhanga.
Okay, okay, okay.
The way the word yogakshema here refers to that, sir. But coming back to Rahulji, I would, because since we more rely on our own lived experiences, all of us, is there anybody who can say my love is greater than yours? My love for Krishna. Can any of us distinguish? I think we all love Krishna from our heart, isn't it? That is why we study the Gita. So have we not got some experiences where Krishna has done this promise? Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam. If we can just share, if we can share some experiences, it would become more special for us. Anybody? I think if anybody, if you can just share, when is it that you felt Krishna has done this? Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam, without having to get into very personal details if you do not wish to. You can share some experience so that it would be you know, a bliss to even listen for the others. As a Shrota, it would be wonderful. Anybody? Can we think of some time? Krishna has taken care of us. Yes. Anyone? Probably after that, we'll go to the next shloka. So, yes. Anybody? The protection of Krishna.
I mean, it's very difficult to point out an incident, Sushruti, but
There are so many.
it
It's
is, I just feel that it's totally permeating full life right now. Everything, the grace is just taking care of everything.
yeah.
The moment I'm trying to do anything, वहाँ problem हो रहा है. Wherever I just leave it and just let
Okay.
the force flow, it is so beautiful, Yeah.
Ji sir. The one reason I was asking for specific is because I think we all love Krishna from our heart, and we don't really need for such proofs. But there are many who have not experienced the grace and would try to understand what is the grace. That would be useful if you can just share something.
Yeah, maybe I can share. When I lost both my parents, at that
Yes,
time
sir.
there was such a big void, and one
Hmm.
can slip into depression and all that stuff, and
Yeah.
not even one day there was a void. There was just like the blessing took over in the heart completely, and
Mhm.
not only it has. Kshema means it has been protected. It has been growing from there.
Yes.
The
Yes,
sadhana
sir.
has been growing, the knowledge has been growing, the unconditional love, the compassion has been growing, sensitivity has been growing, and all the lower emotions which were there, अरे यार मोह है, अरे कैसे चले गए, क्या होगा ये, एक दिन भी नहीं. The
Mm.
house has become an ashram. So many people are
Oh,
coming and doing yoga and meditation in the house, so it's just overflowing. Yeah.
lovely, sir. I think Rahulji just shared this is the biggest and toughest experience of a life to lose parents. To lose parents, and it is sometimes very difficult to people cannot come out of it in a lifetime. It is how they say parents are the chhatra, and they are the chaya, and suddenly that chhatra and chaya both are out of the or suddenly physically at least you lose them. It becomes very difficult to bear with that. And here Rahulji has shared an experience of how Krishna has taken care. This is something which is very beautiful. He said it is growing, and he said at that time also he was able to. What I mean, all of us think we can handle something, and there are things we cannot handle. And many times, what we can't handle are thrown at us by life, and then we feel we do not know what to do. That time we are like groping in the dark, looking for light, and that is where Krishna's light comes. And Rahulji has shared that it was a light that made him grow continuously. Elsewhere in the Gita, we call it the Akshaya. It is a Sukha which is Akshaya. It is a knowledge which is Akshaya, which is not going to have any Kshaya, which is not going to deteriorate. It is going to keep growing. And that is the grace of the divine. That is the knowledge. That is the blessing. And yes, this
There,
is possible when we think of the divine. Yes, sir.
there,
Rahul?
there is one more instance I want to just share very
Yes,
shortly.
please, sir. Yes, sir.
Our connection with money and wealth. So I
Ji, sir.
used to do a regular job in the corporate, typically all those things. And
Hmm.
then after the parents expired, my guru said, you should now do more freelance work, keep yourself free of, everything. Now, at
Okay.
that point in time, the small mind was thinking, how will the money, everything taken care of? You're running a house, everything is there,
Uh-huh.
this, that.
Yes.
And I tell you, everything is just being provided. This life has been given to study the Gita and to do sadhana and to do seva. It's so beautiful. So, the freelance work where one expected from some close friends, it didn't come from there. It came from
Okay.
very unexpected quarters. And that
Hmm.
much to run the house is all coming. Aram say it is coming. And
And
that whole
how
burden
long
of
is
doing
this,
a
sir?
job. This is last
How
2 years. Yes,
2 years,
last
sir. Okay. It's not
yes.
just a month or two. It's been 2 years,
2 years,
isn't
yeah,
it?
2 years. So it's amazing to see that, we have our own concepts in which we are so stuck in terms of, I need this
Hmm.
much money, we need to have financial freedom, all that stuff. We need to have inner freedom first. Then the
Ah,
financial freedom, anyway, everything will be taken care of. So
isn't
the
it?
more
Okay.
I'm surrendering to the path and the knowledge, I'm seeing the more it is taken care of. Yes.
Geez, that is so beautiful. That aspect of yes, outer freedom is required, but before that, the inner freedom is necessary, isn't it? I have seen some very poor people with a lot of wealth. They have so much, and yet they have so little because they are not even able to see if they have something inside. The Chaitanya of the divinity is not there in the life. Then they are investing in all the wrong places, isn't it? If you are looking for, uh, if the entire aspect is growing, so growing should be like natural, isn't it? Like a plant growing towards the sun. Shouldn't be some artificial growth. And here, so much, sometimes people have a huge samrajya, and yet on the inside, they're completely empty. And this is a beautiful experience of Rahulji that how for 2 years, Krishna is taking care. He is taking care, and there are so many. Even my Guruji, when you imagine running an industry without having great financial backing to start on from scratch without any support, but offered it to the divine. If the divine wishes to take it, divine will take it ahead. And since 1988, he has been, we can say, even in a way, fighting the system. But yet, who fights? Somebody who fights will get tired, isn't it? And yet, here is one person who is standing so free, and everything. Full sansar is gone well, taken care of his family, his children. He is able to start off works for the betterment of the world. How is it possible? That is again a promise of Krishna, which is this that he will take care. But let us be connected. Rahulji, just one small question. In those 2 years, what was your relation with Krishna then? You say he has been taking care of.
I think it's just, the interest in Bhagavad Gita started to come, and uh, I mean, it's just that it, बहुत प्रत्यक्ष हो गया. It's become very, very, very alive. The whole connection is very alive, right? Yes, I've never felt such an alive connection.
Did
Only
you
when
pray
all
for
these
wealth,
things
sir?
went away, only when all these things went away, then the connection became more alive.
Right, sir.
When
Right,
it
sir.
was there, I was so dependent on so many other things. But when all things which are our crutches are taken away from us, at that
Hmm.
point in time, then the blessing holds you. It's a very different kind of a feeling. Yes.
Sir, in this moment, because a home has to be run, were you not asking for wealth from Krishna?
Yeah. So what's the question? Sorry, I didn't understand.
When your home had to be run for 2 years, and
Yeah.
you have now taken up freelance work, and
Yeah.
yet you need wealth, material wealth to do the material works.
Yeah.
So you said you were always connected, and in that connection, were you also asking for material wealth all the time?
No, I was not
No.
asking for material wealth. I don't think I was
Wow.
asking. But yes, initially there was this anxiety because the moment you lose
Yes,
a
sir.
job, there is anxiety. ये कैसे
Yes, sir.
होगा? कैसे
Yes,
होगा?
sir.
Then you do
Yes,
some
sir.
mathematics. You are doing all that logical
We need
stuff.
this much. I need this much to run the
Yeah,
next
yeah.
film. Yes, sir.
No, I think after that, little bit started to come, and then you could see he's giving you that much which is needed. He's
Which
not
is
going to
needed.
pander to your desires. He's there to pander, you take care of your needs, and rest
Hmm.
of the time has to be spent in seva, sadhana, and satsang. It is so simple, kind of don't complicate life. What you need, everything is going to be taken care of at a material level, and the rest of it, devote this whole life for this kind of work.
So for Krishna's work, isn't it, sir?
Absolutely,
He
absolutely.
has talked about loka sangrahakam for betterment, and there's no limit for betterment of the world, coming togetherness. And sometimes it's a great miracle. Just you don't need 100,000 people also. Just two
And
people
the
can make
house
good.
energy
Yes, sir.
has changed completely. The home has become like a temple. There is
Lovely,
different
sir.
energy in the house completely.
Lovely, sir.
All
Lovely,
the
sir.
people
Lovely.
who are working there, they find so much peace and joy. It's become like an ashram where people can eat and get good peace of mind. That's
So
it.
wonderful, sir. So lovely, sir. And this is something which is very special. Now you see, there's a need, and yet that need is going to be fulfilled. That confidence in the divine. Our aspect is not on running after these things. Our aspect is due to do the karma, as Krishna has told. Karmanya vadikaraste mam phaleshu kadas. Actually, every shloka of the Gita can be interpolated with every moment of life in so many ways. So here in this particular live, what Rahulji just said, a pratyaksha anubhav. This is anubhava of your life, and there is no age is never a matter for this kind of anubhava. They say dharma vruddheshu ayaha na samikshate. Age is not a matter, as Kalidasa has talked about. So this connection, or if you say nityabhiyukta, that is what Krishna has told in that shloka, where how can he work? He is not asking that because you do this, I am going to do it. He says, you connect with me, then I can take care of you, isn't it? If you don't connect with the divine's grace is always there. It's flowing to us. We are surrounded by grace. The problem is we are not aware. Even the certain reference I made to some people who are poor in heart, financially maybe very, very wealthy, or unfortunate to use the word, but that is what we call filthy rich. No? Nobody is filthy because they are rich, but The richness sometimes makes people filthy because it disconnects them from the divine. Become a Janaka Raja, you will lead to Uddhara of the Vishwa only. Vishwa Kalyan will take place when your wealth will keep growing. But you are not going to lose yourself. There will be what we can say out the yoga and everything will only be taken care of. There is not going to be a yoga shame. Krishna says that the preservation of the yoga that would be done by the divine. So this connection is required, and that is when you are connected with the divine. At times, initially, Rahulji probably, as he said in the earlier stages when things have to happen. It's like, how will it happen? The logical mind asks us questions. And that is all right to ask questions. Even logical questions are welcome. But in all those moments, the connection must not be severed. If you sever the connection with the divine, then the problem of taking care is arising. Instead, if we are there, connected, Nityabhayukta, well, he says, yes, thank you. You allowed me to be your charioteer. Now watch. Watch the magic that I perform. Watch the transformation. So that is the first part of this
I
shloka. Yes.
I
Yes,
have
sir.
one more a part question, which is
Yes, sir.
uh, in some places, Yogakshemam is also defined as what you need will stay and what you don't need in your life will move away from you.
Mhm.
So, is
Yeah.
that also true? For example,
Yes.
sometimes relationships which are not meant to serve you, they will all leave you.
Yes. Yes.
Things which are not meant to serve you, those friends which were there earlier, they can
Mhm.
leave you. New things can come in your life. Is that also what is meant by Yogakshema?
Yes, that's actually beautiful because we will never leave anybody in our yoga path. We are connected. We understand on a spiritual level, everybody is connected in the divinity. There is what we call a oneness. So just because somebody speaks to us or somebody behaves in a certain manner, somebody says, henceforth you are no more alive to me, I don't care anymore about you, all these factors, these are all lower emotions of people. But the individual on a level of, if you can connect on the inner level, you will understand that we are all connected and you are never going to leave anybody. But Krishna is going to ensure what is needed will remain in your life, what is not will not. This is the experience, what we call of Vairagya, no? Vairagya will come as we walk closer to Krishna because Krishna is the greatest Vairagi, isn't it? He is the holder of the Vairagya. What is that Vairagya? That knowledge of freedom in the divine. Whether or not I have positions, whether or not I have people, whether or not people praise me, whether or not people appreciate me, even if they criticize me, even if I have no positions, if I have nothing, nothing in the world, and yet I am free, I am like a experiencer of bliss in this world. That is my connection with the divine, which is so perfect, so valuable, so special, that is going to protect me. And that Vairagya comes. Yeah, if you see, and sometimes people get so confused, is this person Vairagi or is he Bhogi? That was asked to about Shiva only in a beautiful song about, it says, and then this sadhak is saying, Mage Ubha Mangesha, Pude Ubha Mangesha. And he says, Majhakade Deva Mazha Pahato Ahe. Mangesh is in front, Mangesh is behind me, and my God is looking at me. And then he starts describing how Mangesha is, how Shiva looks to me. Look at this person. How is he? Shiva is my Aradhya Shiva is this way. He sits in a. Where is he? He is not. Is he a Vairagi or is he Bhogi? Is also a question. He says he's a yogi of several births. He is continuously doing that sadhana. His sadhana goes on. He is. What is he having? He's only having Chitta Bhasma on his body and it is smeared over his body and there is this his entire appearance and form and but the question remains, is he vairagi or is he bhogi? So who are we going to lose when all roads come to our heart, that is towards Krishna? Nobody is going to be lost. Yet what who are needed and who are not at this moment we don't have to declare for life anything. Sometimes people you'd aspire and pine for, they don't come in your life at some times. They do appear later also, isn't it? Have you not experienced that in life? I want very good relations with my best example was with my very close friend Jonathan, whom I thought was my best friend in school. On the last day of school, we had a fight. I remember after the final day, all emotions of missing the school, everything was going on. And at that time, we both had a fight in the parking lot, and then we decided and declared that we will not see each other. I also said, yeah, I don't want to see you at all. And our roads parted completely. I went to a different college with different engineering. I was in mechanical. He was in computer science. We really had nothing to do. And on the last day, we parted and we thought we'll never meet again. And yet, the world is very different in its way of functioning. We studied together in college. We did combined studies. He ensured I got my first career in my life also. And then it is also something which is very special that his relation with me has remained. At that point, I felt that there is a separation. So when we realize that if Krishna is taking care, he is going to ensure. If somebody does, you should look at it like a zero-sum game. Acha, somebody went out of my life. It's all right. Somebody will come in. Krishna will arrange, but ultimately I am for all, but I am first for Krishna, and I do what Krishna says. So Rahulji, do you think this is right? Does this approach itself, sir? Yes,
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
ji sir,
Yes.
ji sir. So this was the one thing, and then comes a very interesting shloka, like the 45th one, which has again similar aspects of the yoga kshemam vahamiham. Here again, let us look at the previous shloka. Sometimes it's very interesting when we look at the context, because context is king. Where has Krishna said it, and what is it? What is the preceding shloka? We can understand. Sometimes, if I don't understand a good shloka, immediately looking at the previous shloka will allow us to see the flow. What is the narration going on? If you see here, shloka 44 and 45, then we come to the 45th one, where again Yogakshema is used. This is done before the promise of Krishna. Yogakshemam Vahamyam. Before that, he has again used that word. Let us see the shloka 44. Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam tayapa rita chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhau na vidhiyate. So, Krishna talked about bheda. There are two types of people in the world, a vyavasayatmika buddhi and the avyavasayatmika buddhi. Does anybody recollect something about this? The two perspectives he has told. What are the two types of perspectives? One is a one which unites us. Means, if you just see the 41st shloka, Krishna says, Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekeha kurunandana bahushakha hyanantascha buddhayo vyavasayinam. One is the decisive selfless intelligence which all as one perceives and is unifying, O beloved son of the Kuru clan. But the divisive intelligence of desirers has a wide span that splits like a tree's countless branches and leaves. So the two types of intelligence are there. One is those of desirers. How does that mind work? It creates bheda, it creates divides. This person is mine, this person is not, this is something which will come to me, I don't want this. This entire aspect, and the branches are like a tree's branches, countless divisions at different levels, they keep manifesting. The Yuddha only took place because of this type of intelligence, isn't it? Of Dhritarashtra. Mama Kaha Pandavaschaya. Arey, a father figure, these are my children. My brother's children are also my children. What is the need for me to discriminate between them? But no. And look at that, levels continuously from there, the division started and it became so horrible. It looked like they are now completely a separate. They even went on to declare them like a different tree only of the family. They are no more Kauravas, they are Pandavas, forgetting that, hey, all of us are one. We are the one Kuruvansha. That aspect was lost because of the intelligence. And that intelligence is what here is what Krishna is saying, that if this just creates divide. Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam tayapa hritachetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhau na vidhyate. The fruits of every action, these desires are the problem. So every action's results, what am I going to get? I talk to someone, I must get something in return. I have to get something in return. This kind of knowledge is there in the approach in life is an approach which creates a lot of problems because it just creates divides. Do we have to get something when we every conversation with our friends? Do we have to focus on returns that we get? I do not think so. Krishna has given us a beautiful example. Look at him listening quietly. He's already given his army to the other side. He's a charioteer. He should be the one who is most impatient. He is the one who is supposed to be frustrated. My time is short. I want to quickly finish. I have other works to do. No, we don't say that. So the minds which are run by fruits of every action. In the fruits of every action, their senses are held sway. Allured, their fickle minds meekly wander away. Such people whose intelligence is thus unfocused, never attain contentment, and are always depressed. So the buddhi is divided in the fruits, the consciousness is lost. Just if this oneness is not seen, you are only going to keep looking at a lot of times. So just as Rahulji just shared that there is a need. Everybody who wants to start a family has the pressure of starting a family, isn't it? Or anybody wants to run a household. Anybody wants to live their life, whether or not you are having dependents. Even if you are living your life, the life's pressures come onto you. But because of that pressure, and I start every action must lead to give me certain amount of, because sometimes people are not satisfied. Somebody would say my freedom in life would come if I get 50 lakhs. Another one would say if I get a crore. Somebody would say 10 crores. And there are people even after 200 crores, they don't feel they are financially secure because they're not secure because the minds are continuously running after fruits. This will come and I will get satisfaction. This will come, and because of that desire, because of the desire and the attachment to that particular material goal, and assuming that goal is everything, there is no chance for contentment. The buddhi, vyavasayatmaka buddhi, samadhav na vidhiyate. There is no samadhi state. There is no satisfaction also. And they do not experience happiness despite having so many things. And that is why the next shloka, which is speaking about 45th shloka, Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna, Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvastho, Niryogakshema, Atmavan. So Krishna says about this Traigunya. Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna. Oh, Arjuna, it is in the Vedas that the truth is contained. The threefold qualities within man are explained. So we know about the three gunas, isn't it? Anybody? What are the three gunas?
Sattva, Raj, and Tam.
Yes, the Sattva, Raja, and Tamas. So in the way, this truth of the three gunas is mentioned, is what Krishna says. This is a Vedic truth. It is the Vedas that this truth is contained of the threefold qualities which are present in man, meaning man is being driven by Prakriti. Man is being driven by these forces of the gunas, meaning man is not free, isn't it? No matter how much. It's like imagine being given a cage which is say 10 feet by 10 feet, and a cage which is say 500 feet by 500 feet. It's still a cage, no? No matter what facilities you are being given in that cage, if you are in a cage, you are not free at all. And this aspect of getting caged, people do not understand. Prakriti is binding us. And that is why the Vedas says, become free, open the door, spread your wings. You are a hero. You are that child of light. You have to experience it. You have to become free. That truth is told in the Vedas, is what Krishna is saying. And he says, become beyond the gunas. So, first introduction of becoming beyond the gunas also, Krishna says, becoming beyond the gunas means becoming free from the imposition of the gunas. Later on, Krishna talks to us about what is gunatita, the one who has become greater than the gunas, or who has become free from the impositions of the gunas. And that is what Krishna says, Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna. Rahulji wants to ask something. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So basically, is Bhagwan saying that teen guno mein everybody is kind of stuck, and
Bound.
you have to rise above the
Yes,
three
yes,
gunas, right? That
yes,
is
yes,
what the
sir.
Ved is saying. Is
Absolutely.
that the meaning of the
Absolutely.
whole thing?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
okay, okay, okay.
There's a beautiful Varuna Sukta which talks about I think it is Bharadwaj Rishi who invokes Varuna Devata and asks for the grace. And he says, he asks for freedom from three bonds, three types of pasha. He says, free me from the pashas, the ones that bind me to the lower, the ones that bind me in the middle, and even the ones that bind me above. There's a beautiful Varuna Sukta where he says, and it's such a beautiful concept, isn't it? He's even identified that there are some binds which are connected to the above. We have this Sattva Raja Tamas. We've seen Tamas is the most lowest, the most, what we can say, a cloak of inertia, a cloak of illusion, a cloak of which is deludes a person from the truth. That covers a being, and that's the difficult. Lower, we can call it the lower one. Then the one which is in the middle, the rajasic force is required. But where are we going to put that force? That force, if it is in the divine's work, it is different. You see, Sri Aurobindo has beautifully described Arjuna as overall he's a Rajasic individual with Sattvic ideals. A Rajasic Kshatriya with Sattvic ideals, and that is where he's having trouble, isn't it? His Sattvic ideals suddenly and are now he's not able to identify what is it that I must do in this yuddha. He has to fight. The Kshatriya Bala is required, and yet now the gunas, that is how the confusion of gunas come, and that is why we have to rise beyond it. And that's what slowly Krishna tries to lead Arjuna beyond his own confusion to see the higher truth. And that's what he says, the Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna. In the last adhyaya, he told, surrender completely to me. I will take care. Sarva dharman parityaje. Mamekam sharanam vraja. That is a simple thing that Krishna has told ultimately. So this aspect of becoming beyond Arjuna, understand it. Because the day we understand it, we are liberated. And that liberation is everything because that is the very purpose of our existence on earth. First is understanding the liberation mentally, but the final aspect of understanding it is in experiencing it. It is an experience. To experience what real Vairagya is, that is a great joy. So let us see. So it is in the Vedas that the truth is contained. The threefold qualities within man are explained. Then comes Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvastho Niryogakshema Atmavan. So here, Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvastho. He just talked about the dvandva between the Vyavasayatmika Buddhi and the Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. The ones of desirers and the selfless people. They have very opposite approaches, isn't it? One is a intelligence that unifies, that makes people see oneness, and the other is creating divide. So only somebody who is having the Vyavasayatmika Buddhi or a Buddhi which does not see divide can see oneness. But here the ultimate oneness is seeing oneness everywhere. As Krishna elsewhere in the Gita says, Vasudevam Sarvamitam. Sarvam. So here this Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvastho. When you are stha or you are firm in the truth of things, when you are and you are stable in the truth of things, when you have that clarity, that time you are free from divides. When you are having the full clarity of what is right, what is wrong, and you are grounded on the truth, that is the time when you are going to be free from these confusions. What should I do? Many people go and ask other people or not. What is the main reason they ask that question? Anyone? In my life, I should be able to live it, but I do not know how to live it. I have this question, what should I do? We ask this to others or not? What is the main reason that we are asking? Because if we understand that, we will probably have better questions to ask, or we'll have questions we can ask directly to Krishna and get the answers. But what is the reason why people ask this question? For a particular life problem, people are not able to see the solution in their own lives. because everybody gets their own set of experiences. Everybody has their challenges, but at times they are not able to understand what to do. What is the main reason? That is a very simple, fundamental principle. Why people are not able to see that? Anybody?
I think there
Yes,
is
sir.
dondva between what is actually happening and what is
Uh,
expected in your mind.
Yes, sir. Yes, there's a fight and there's divide, and you have expectations. There's a division, and you are now in your, what we can say, there's no clarity inside, isn't it, sir? Because you're not firmly on the truth. If you're firmly in the truth, look at Arjuna's case. If he is firmly grounded in the truth, he'll say, yes, Dronacharya is there. He is my guru. I will bow to him. But now in this kshetra of yuddha, this is my duty. My Gandiva bow has to be in my hand and I have to fire. It does not matter. That is the clarity. That clarity comes only in the end. So when the clarity comes, moha is lost. He says, Nashtor moha smrutir labdhva tvat prasadan mayachyuta sthito smigata sandhya karishe vachanam tava. Meaning we are able to do what the divine wants us to do only when we have clarity of mind. When that clarity of mind is lost because of dvandva, because of divides. Sometimes even on the spiritual path, people have divides. Oh, I am spiritual, that person is material. That's also a divide, isn't it? That divide takes us away from clarity, and as long as we are there in that divide, we will not have that clarity. And that's why Krishna says, go beyond that. Experience what is that Advaitic oneness, Ekam Eva Dvitiya, that truth of the divine which is present within and without. The true state wherein every desire is conquered and the net non dual consciousness that is acquired. Nir Yoga Kshema Atmavan. Experience the knowledge of the Atman, experience the truth of the Atman, and then Krishna says that is a knowledge which will ensure that you are never lost from the divine's consciousness and it does not reduce. And that is why so many margas, no, whichever path you say, any guru, he talks about the same thing, isn't it? All gurus, though paths are different, they have an underlying oneness. That oneness is that divine consciousness. Is offer seva. As Rahulji sir said that his guru asked him to enter into the path of seva, sadhana, and everything. Reason is the same thing. Same thing as every guru does to take a person ahead for, like this is beautiful mantra. Chit kalyanam hridaye nityam sevya seva sevakarahitam. Praptam Paramapadam Shantam Vimala Sukham. Means Chit Kalyana, this aspect, if we keep in our head, yes, I want to experience this highest truth. And for that, I am going to keep purifying myself. My own, what is good for my Chitta, what is good for my Atman, or we say, as Krishna said here, Nir Yoga Kshema Atmavan. Means to how will you go into that state of clarity when I start purifying myself, when I start before identifying in others what is wrong or what is look at this person is so low, this person is so ignorant. Let me not focus on that. Instead, let me focus on my own inner self and its purification. And if it is eternal, that aspiration, just want to keep getting better and better. Well, there is no limit. And here, that's this particular verse, Chit Kalyanam Rudhaye Nityam Sevya Seva Seva Karetam. Who is the person who is offering the seva and who is receiving the seva? That bhed also has disappeared. That bhed has disappeared, and I am so focused that I'm every moment I'm just purifying myself and taking myself higher and closer towards the divine. And that is where we can experience the truth. And Krishna's this promise, well, Yogakshemam Vahamyaham, that would be very beautifully experienced. So I think, Rahulji, but these two shlokas did take most of the time. Looking at the other set of shlokas might require another session, sir, because they are a
Yes, we can
different
do
topic.
it. Yes, we can do it in the next week. Just one clarification on what you just said. That
Yes, sir.
the two shlokas are still talking Krishna saying, I will take care of the Yoga Kshema as
Yeah.
the end. what he's saying in the first one, he's saying you become an Ananya Bhakt. In the second one, he's saying you become Trigunatit.
Yeah, but
Is
yes,
that
but
is
if you
that
look
what
at it,
is? Uh,
yes, sir. And what very interesting thing that, like you pointed out, if you see, sir, is that in the the second shloka we covered was actually from the second adhyaya, and the first shloka is from the ninth adhyaya, isn't it, sir? Ar
correct, correct.
Arjuna was very different in the second adhyaya, and Arjuna was different in the ninth adhyaya. In the
Hmm.
ninth adhyaya, Arjuna started believing more in Krishna's way and Krishna's understanding.
Okay,
So to
okay.
make under to that time, Krishna felt it was right to tell him ki yoga kshemam vaham yaham. Don't worry, beta, I'll take care completely. But here he was earlier questioning Krishna only, isn't it? In the second adhyaya.
So in the second adhyaya, then what is it that what's the
Krishna
essence
is
in the
asking
second?
Arjuna to connect to the Atman himself by his individual efforts, little bit at least. Because पहले तो हाथ आगे करो,
Okay.
reach out, and then you should see. He will not just take your hand; he'll take you fully. But our
Uh,
hand should first stretch out for Krishna. Ki, Krishna, I need your help. I'm drowning. Just raise that hand. So the first thing Arjuna had to learn to do that. But when he understood it, he said, "अरे तुम्हें क्या करना है? सब तो मेरे को करना है. Enjoy, wear your glasses, chill. I'm the driver. चाहिए तो ऐसे ही
yes,
लगा दूंगा. पूछ लो. I will put it on."
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes, so that the context is this, sir, and it's so beautiful that once we become more and more aware of the divine's working, we become more clear, and our roles are now more than just doing things. Our karma is now focused on aligning with the divine's consciousness, where you are no more in, it's like there's no intervention of divine, whether it's going to take place or not. That question has disappeared. It is going to take place. You have experienced it, you have understood, and you have understood, and you are feeling it. Now, the question is not about the intervention; it is about interference. Will there be a human interference in the divine's will? Will it be my interference? How will I prevent my interference from the manifesting of the divine will? That is where the sadhana becomes. In the initial stages, it is about receiving grace. How to receive grace? There is the cry, there is the pain and yearning. "Ki, I want one moment of grace. Let the It's like how clouds are there, and then you're looking for a ray of light from dark clouds. But in the later stage, it is not about whether the grace is going to come or not. The sadhak, as he matures and advances, the sadhak realizes it's not the question of whether the grace is there. The question is whether I am able to receive it, whether am I patra enough, or can I increase my capacity or my patrata to receive more grace. It's like now the dark clouds have cleared. There's a plenty of sunlight. Now the wonder is, how do I use this grace which is everywhere? And maybe I'll plant some beautiful flowers. I'll water them right, and they will grow. I will even get a solar panel if required. But let me use that grace. That is where the reduction of interference becomes it's a change in the dynamics of a sadhak only as the sadhana progresses. My interference must be reduced, and then plentiful, what we can say, manifestation can take place. If I'm able to do, say, I'm able to do good for 10 people because of the grace that is coming to me. When I reduce my interference, that 10 might become 100, or that 100 may become 1,000 also. So that becomes the next direction. So that is probably what that is why it's very interesting how the same shloka Krishna is talking about. One place it almost looks almost contradictory. That's why people get confused in the Gita, and very little people understand and try to misinterpret and distort the truth. But if you look at it, it is the one only. They don't realize they are also products of that Veda and Dvandva, which is why they are seeing distortion. The moment that Dvandva is removed, when they are sthaha or firm or stable in the sattva of things, then the experience is taken ahead by the divine. So I think with this, we are ready to conclude our session. If anybody has any question, anything related to, to this, something related to our everyday lives, which might be useful for us or anybody else who maybe might listen to this later on, we could look at it. Otherwise, we are free to conclude today's session. Yes. Anybody? Anything? Absolutely. All right. If there is nothing, then maybe we can just look at some of the take-home points for today, and we conclude with the Shanti Mantra. Anybody? What are the things that we can take home today?
The second time that Bhagwan uses Yoga Shemam, it's more like Prem Gali Ati Sakri Tame Dona Samai. जब
Prem
हम
Gali
थे
sir.
तब प्रेम गली
Sorry, sir.
अति सांकरी, प्रेम
Ha
गली
ha.
अति सांकरी तामे दो न समाये, जब हम थे तब हरि नहीं, अब हरि है हम नाही.
Yes, sir. If you can just explain it to once more,
Yeah,
sir, about the meaning. Yes, sir.
yeah. The meaning is when the path of love is
Hmm.
so narrow that
Ha.
when I was there, then Hari was not there, and now Hari is there, and I'm dissolving completely. So
Yes,
that's the
yes.
second Yogakshema. The first one was when I was there. The second
Yeah.
Yogakshema is when Hari is now taken over and you become the Ananya Bhakt.
Ji, sir. Absolutely. So beautifully said. Yes, yes. So let us experience the love of Krishna. Let us say, Krishna, you are there. I am not. You are the doer. Naham karta. Harihi karta. And let us experience it. Even a smallest act, which we may think, like, for example, we are going to have our breakfast today. Even while having the breakfast, if you just invoke Krishna and you just experience, you can experience a very different experience when
Yeah,
he is
can
there.
I can I
Yes, sir.
ask one more thing? There was that Mataji last time, Usha Mata Bhav. Is
Yeah,
that
Usha
the
Maji.
same Bhav? Usha Maji Bhav. Is that the same Bhav we are talking about? That the Ananya Bhakti ka Bhav?
Yes, sir, yes, sir. That during the one Gita class, I'll try to find the shlokas. Sir. There was one shlok where we just discussed about prana pratishtha, and we talked about how prana pratishtha can be in temples. It is there are certain shastras, so there are certain authorized people who can do the prana pratishtha. But when we have this Ganesh Chaturthi festivals at home, especially in Maharashtra, everybody does prana pratishtha in their own home, isn't it? So we were discussing the like there are certain rules and then there are certain rules relaxations in certain kshetras. So we asked a question, can we do prana pratishtha by touching our heart and awaken Krishna there? So some people felt that not now. Now is not the time. I'm doing a lot of other things. If I am going to give awakening, like consider Krishna is now dwelling inside of me, I will have to follow. My acharan should be like that. So that was where we decided that yes, it is possible to establish the presence of the divine within us also. A prana pratishtha in a jivit vyakti also can be done, and the awakening of the divine or becoming conscious. It is all about the state of mind. And in that process, we said we'll have to find a way to establish our relation with the divine. And that is where Usha Maji then started calling Krishna as a child because she said that's the easiest way I can love Krishna. As a grandmother, I can add over him and I can he'll be the child and let me see, is it crazy or is it not? I said, Maji, please go ahead. It is something very wonderful, and that is how she went ahead on her own. And then the beautiful relations she's experiencing every day, whatever challenges are there. So probably that shloka, maybe Rahulji, I'll try to find out, but the bhava is the same, sir.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
yes, thank you, sir. And that's a beautiful aspect of the Gita. Every shloka is connected to another shloka. Just sometimes one single word will allow us to connect to so much. So anyway, let us conclude today with the Shanti mantra. Hari Om. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् हरि ओम तत्सत् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं हरि ओम पुनर्मिलामः नमस्कार
Hariom, sir.
हरि ओम जी नमस्कार जी सी यू नेक्स्ट वीक नमस्कार